remember when Jackie and I met and talked several times as she was here as a caregiver, bringing her mom in. When I approached her and talked to her about coming on the board, she said, I don't know, because I don't know that, what do I bring to the board? And I said, you bring the most powerful thing. You have the personal connection. And I would love, Jackie, if you're fine with sharing your story of how you learned about ALPS and how you learned that you had just became a caregiver.
Sure. I'd love to tell that story. My mother was diagnosed with small vessel disease, and I had taken her to the doctor, and her doctor suggested we visit ALPS. I didn't know what ALPS was, and I feel like now ALPS is one of the best kept secrets in Morristown, because until you need it, you might not know about it. To back up, my mother was a widow. She was living at home by herself and was watching TV all day long and was lonely and was cried a lot. And I knew that at some point she could not stay home alone anymore. There were elopement issues. She was leaving the house. I didn't know where she was. She had walked to the post office one day. So I knew that I had to do something, but what was I going to do? I didn't know where to turn. I didn't, know whether to get a caregiver into the house. And so then her doctor again suggested we visit ALPS, and she adamantly said no, she did not want to do that. So one day I just drove by and I said, oh, there's the place that your doctor wanted you to go. Let's stop in there. I had already set up a meeting prior to that, but I said, let's just stop in there. We went in and we were met with all these smiling faces. We did a test day soon after that, where she went for half a day to see how she would like it. And she fell in love. She made crafts, and she had lunch and a snack, and met some friends, and was able to just interact instead of sitting at home all day long by herself. I felt secure. I would drop her off in the mornings before I'm a teacher, and before school I would drop her off, and then after school I would pick her up. So I knew she was safe. I did not have to worry about her all day long. And one of the things that ALPS does is they support the caregivers. Not only was my mother taken care of, but there were several days I walked in there after school when I went to pick her up, and I was in tears, and I got hugs from so many people because they were supporting me. They knew what I was going through, and they gave me advice and just so many things that ALPS can bring to the families and to the family members. There's a full-time nurse there. She would tell me, your mother's legs are swollen today, or, your mother's blood pressure was up today. So these are other things that ALPS can do for you as a family, and having your family member there.
And Jackie, correct me if I'm wrong now, because there's so many stories and there's so many experiences that we face daily. But your mother spoke German, is that correct?
She did. She did.
And I remember one day she came in the door, and I greeted her. I said, Guten Tag, or Guten Morgen. And boy, she just started speaking in German, and I had to back up because I knew how to say good morning or good day. But then she just started trying to carry on a conversation with me, and I had to laugh and apologize and say, no, meine Deutsch nicht so good. I knew how to say good morning. So, it's just those, just those daily, those smiles. It's just so incredible. And the feeling that we get, you shared the feeling that you got coming in and crying, and I'm about to cry now. But the feelings we get are 10 times as powerful, because we don't just see the happiness that you saw in your mom and the relief that you felt, but we see it from everybody, all of the people we serve. It's incredible.
Exactly. And she would bring books about Germany, and she would share them with, or she would show the pictures, because she, she had some language issues there at the end, but she would love to bring her things in there and share with other people. She was always excited to go. She couldn't tell time anymore at the end, but at 5 a.m, she would be standing at my bedroom door holding her purse and was ready to go to ALPS. And I would have to say, a couple more hours, let's wait. You go sit down for a little while, go lay down. And we'll go in a little while. But she loved going to ALPS. Wonderful program.